Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have something different to play. Today we are playing Breach Wonders, yes. And this is a game from one of the game developer that I know since I played most of his games in the past. And this is his newest game. This game is currently in alpha, so I got kinda early access, let's say, and we're going to play test it. If you're interested in this game, you can find the links down below in the description where you can play it yourself. So this game is basically like a Slay the Spire, but in my opinion, a more complex, a more deep game in that. So like you have the same mechanics of Slay the Spire. You can build your deck. This is a deck building game in essence, but you have much more complexity. So you have more effects, more statuses. You will see once we go into the run. You can play as multiple characters, so currently there are 5, I have only unlocked 3. We will be playing as Raudan, a powerful Frost Mage, as it is said here. This is actually kind of different from Slay the Spire, because not only you can edit your deck, so basically you can choose with which card you start, but you can also edit your pool, which is very interesting in my opinion. Pool of cards that you will in fact encounter when you will play the game. Like you beat a monster, and 2 out of those 25 cards are going to be picked from your pool of cards, and 1 is going to be a monster card, which is a reward specific to that type of monster that you just beat. So yeah, that's very interesting, because you can kinda adjust the RNG of most of the cards you're going to encounter. So for example, if you want to play as a Frost Mage, as we're going to play in this run, you have kinda the RNG on your part, so that's pretty interesting. And so yeah, without further ado, let's jump into a run to see this game in action. So you have also some interesting other mechanics, which we are going to explain once we hit them. So as you can see, there is the path, similar to Slay the Spire. I usually like to go down this mini boss. There is the boss at the end. So yeah, let's probably go here then. So this is the first different thing from Slay the Spire. You have status effects like Arcane, for example. Applying Arcane will fill the target's Arcane bar, so we will have a bar down there. When it's filled, the target will take 10 damage and reduce the rank of their buffs by 1. So you basically have some buffs up here, and reducing the rank by 1 means that you will in fact decrease those buffs. So Arcane is actually very interesting at dispelling the buffs of your opponents, or since they are casting that on us, to dispel our own stuff. We are a Frost Mage, so instead we apply Frost. Applying Frost will fill the target's Frost bar. When it's filled, the target will be unable to act on their next turn. So basically, once you fill them, they will be unable to act. It's a stun, basically. And as you can see here, if we go like this, we will in fact fill the Frost bar of this enemy, and he will not take the action. So basically, we will deny his Arcane effect, because that card, by the way, dealt 10 damage and 10 Frost. Then we have some mana, so this is very interesting, also a different mechanic. You have the mana bar. Every turn you are refilling some mana, not all of the mana you see here, and you will keep the mana on the turns. And not only that, you have a lot of effects actually to refill your mana, which is something that it is pretty different from Slay the Spire. So I won't go in the details of all the cards yet. We will see during the run what they do. So for example, your Frost Strike is actually pretty strong, because your damaging effects apply Frost for 2 turns. And basically, more in detail, it specifically means that you will have a Frost Rune buff, as you can see there on the right of the card. Apply 2 Frost per attack hit, actually. So yeah, every damaging effect will apply to Frost. And also deal 6 damage to the first enemy. So usually the strikes, you can't target them, they will hit the first enemy. Instead, spells or skills, you can usually target those cards. So yeah, let's go for Frost Strike first. And actually, let's go for double Frost Strike, so we have almost killed this one. Since this is going to cast a shield, I don't really want to kill it yet. I don't feel compelled to do so. Instead, the Ice Blast there will prevent this opponent from casting a buff and an Arcane. which is going to be quite interesting. Instead we have Predict, Predict gain 1 mana, gain mana boost 1, so it is a buff, and as you can see, every turn gain 2 extra mana, and also Growth. Growth is very interesting. Buff, increase your maximum mana by 1 per rank, so every, for example, now we have 5 Growth, and in fact we have 15 instead of 10. Gain 1 extra mana every turn for every 5 rank, the maximum is +4. In fact, every 5 rank we're going to gain 1 more mana, so for example, already Rodan gains 1 more mana at the end of the turn, so now we will gain even 1 more. Yeah, growth isn't reduced at the end of the turn, so yeah, basically you can keep growing and growing. So that's very interesting. And then we have Mana Shield. Mana Shield, gain 2 mana, gain 2 shield. So as you can see here, there's also this different mechanic of a shield. You basically start with your base shield value every fight. So for currently it's 10. And if you surpass, as you saw in this round, the base shield value, you will lose every shield that is more than the base shield value. So we had 12, we went back to 10. But yeah, until 10 you can stockpile on that. So now we have still the Frost rune, so actually this is going to apply 12 Frost, as you can see. And this means that we will be able to stun this one, but we actually don't need to, since this is going to die, basically, with that attack. So yeah, let's go ahead and deal more damage to that. We didn't have mana to cast that. This is basically our damaging tool. Deal 8 damage to any enemy, deal an additional 8 damage if the target is frozen. Currently we couldn't do that, but we still don't take any damage. So that's nice. And yeah, now we won the game. I mean, the fight, the first fight. So when you win, you get some gold, which is an out-of-game currency. You can buy, for example, more characters, more playable characters, more upgrades, so that you gain more buffs at the end of every fight, every run actually. Then we have Aether, which you can use to unlock cards and open packs, as you see here. And then we have Experience. Experience is to level up your adventures, because they also have level ups. Currently I have a level 5, if I remember correctly, Raudan, and at the 4th level you gain an extra ability basically. And then you have the energy. With the energy, you once this is filled, you will get an item to equip, and they're basically like relics in Slay the Spire, so that's pretty interesting. And then you choose a card. This is very different actually from Slay the Spire. Like really, this means a lot. You can't skip the card choice. Like you have to keep one card. So this means that you can't really adjust your deck, you know, fine-tune it to basically have a very small deck, a very consistent deck. This deck will be... you have ways to remove cards from your deck, don't get me wrong, but in the long run, your deck will grow. So you actually have to have a synergistic deck, because you can't really do crazy stuff like in Slay the Spire. And actually, I thought that was a bit of a... You know, it killed the replayability of Slay the Spire. If you really wanted to play it at the best possible way in Slay the Spire, you basically had to never choose a card instead of the broken ones, and, you know, keep repeating that. So we have Regrowth. Draw the top card of your discard pile. So this means that you can play a card, you play Regrowth, and you gain that card back. So this is very useful to spam some cards. Icy Concentration, gain 3 mana, gain 2 more mana if an enemy is frozen. So the ability to gain 5 mana from a single card is actually very, very strong. And then we have Corrupted Blast. This is the monster card, the specific item that actually... card that you get from beating a type of monster. So give 1 or 2 to the first 2 enemies, deal 5 to them. So this is actually a pretty good way to deal damage, and also vulnerable. This will increase the damage, but I like to go for a more grindy, more late game character, let's say it like that. So let's go for Icy Concentration, because I know that I will have some spells which are going to be huge, and I need mana to cast them. So let's actually go for some random encounters. You found someone's backpack and sleeping mat here. It's long abandoned. Who knows what creature drove them to flee and leave everything behind? Loot the backpack. They left an old journal behind with notes about avoiding bad encounters in the Aether. You can inspire yourself from it. Remove a card or prepare your defenses for the next fight. These will actually give you more items. So, you know, you will get an equipment on top of that, but I like to remove a card, actually. Currently in our deck, probably the least useful card is Predict. We actually got a better mana card rather than Predict, in my opinion, so let's actually remove predict. Then we go for another random encounter. You hear some fighting sounds in the distance. Magic plants are in a fight against a group of very dangerous elementals. Interfere to ambush the plants, interfere to ambush the dangerous elementals, or stay hidden. Probably stay hidden. If I can avoid a fight, it's better. After a highly magical skirmish, the elementals burn and chase away the plants. The highly magical skirmish left a lot of ether energy around the area. So I can upgrade a spell. Condition this is only available if I play as Raudan, which I am, and upgrade a mana card. Condition 4 mana cards. So this is actually very nice to gain an upgrade out of nowhere. Also, we could gather some more, ether and stuff. I probably think that I want to upgrade a mana card because I know that in my deck there is the Icy Concentration, which was actually an uncommon, I have to say. Probably that's the rarity of the card, and that card is very strong, so making it even stronger is probably a good choice. So yeah, as you can see here, Icy Concentration, and now instead it will gain 5 more mana if an enemy is frozen. I actually like the fact that you don't gain, basically the floor of the card remains the same. You still gain 3 mana if the condition is not met, but if it is met, then you're basically almost doubling the amount of mana that you're gaining, so that's very strong. Yeah, let's go for Icy Concentration, then we go for the first hard encounter, let's call it like that. We have a pretty not so strong start. We have a lot of mana, but not a lot of cards to actually deal damage. This is Shock, the other type of status. Applying shock will fill the target's shock bar. When it's filled, the target will be shocked and take double damage from the next attack. So this is obviously very strong if you want to have a very huge spell that deals a lot of damage, and if you can shock it before you go for the spell, that's pretty bonkers. So now we can actually frost, you can freeze him, so as you can see here, and now Pierce will deal more damage. We actually have mana to cast everything because Focus gives us 2 more mana, and we almost almost killed the odd encounter, so called, and we actually froze him another time. We filled the bar so much that we froze him 2 times, and yeah, this was an actually easy fight. Okay, so we can choose a card: Frost Nova, Frost Strike, or Conductive Bolt. Conductive Bolt deal 10 damage to any enemy, guaranteed crit on targets with shield. 2 for 10 damage is not bad. Frost Strike, we already have those in our deck. Frost Nova, give Frostbite to all enemies. There are synergies with Frostbite, so probably I want to go into that direction. And also, if you look at Frostbite, it is a debuff, and every turn gain 3 frost and take 3 damage. You obviously apply those to enemies, so this could actually be useful in larger encounters. At the end of the day, this deals 6 damage, a bit delayed, and also applies 6 frost to everything in 2 turns, so that's actually pretty strong. So let's go for Frost Nova, then we go for a random encounter, loot the cache, loot and continue. So we actually got the first equipment, so we can choose between Scaled Grimoire, shield gained per mana spent casting, spell +1. Shield gained per mana spent casting. What does that mean? Casting spells +1. So whenever you play a spell, you're going to gain a shield. That's actually pretty interesting. So yeah, the fact that it was on 2 different lines confused me a bit. Then instead we have accessory, max shield +2, damage taken by attacks -1, and critical damage -20%. I also like these heavy element stuff, but since I don't really know, guys, because this is actually very useful if an enemy is going to deal a lot of damage, like one damage 4 times will basically deal 0 to us. But I guess the Scaled Grimoire is a bit better probably. So yeah, let's go for Scaled Grimoire, and then we have our first mini boss. Okay, so let's try to be effective with our mana spent. We can actually go for Mana Shield first, then we go for Ice Blast, Frost Nova, Focus, which gives us 2 more mana if we have no mana, and then we go for Pierce. So you applied to us 13 Doom, a buff, and you take 50 damage when this effect expires. You basically, it basically ticks by 1 every turn, so that's a bit like a ticking bomb, you can say. Then I don't know, can we go for... we don't have mana to go for Frost Strike and then Focus and then Ice Blast, so we actually have to go the other way around. This means that we are missing on let's go for focus first, then acid concentration, because focus has the most value when you cast it when you have not any mana. So as you can see, we basically refilled our mana. That's insane. And yeah, now we have Pierce, but we can't quite freeze the enemy. It will apply 12 arcane to us, so we are going to take the damage. 10 damage from the arcane. But yes, as you can see, we have a lot of shield from the Scaled Grimoire actually, so I'm proud of my choice. Let's go for Frost Strike into Ice Blast, into Icy Concentration. Do we want to go for Frost Nova or Ice Blast? Probably Ice Blast, because at the end of the day, this costs a bit more, but this applies only 6 damage and 6 freeze, frost. Instead, this applies 10, so it should be just a bit better mathematically. Yeah, it should be, because it was 2 turns better. No, what that was 1 out. 50% more expensive, but it dealt a bit more than 50% of the damage. So yeah. So it should be a bit more cost effective. Yeah, I'm always doing maths, even when playing. So as you can see, a lot of shield from that Scaled Grimoire. So probably want to go for Frost Strike first, even though we still have the Frost Rune, and actually stacking them doesn't really do much. So yeah, let's go for that. We can't freeze, unfortunately. I mean, we can freeze him, but we won't gain the bonus from Pierce. So yeah, let's still go for it. I didn't see that. Did he actually activated the double damage? Didn't quite catch it. Okay, now it is going to apply 16 arcane to us. The arcane is still going to explode at 10 damage, so we are still not taking any damage. Probably the best way to go here is Ice Blast, and actually we can also go for Pierce. This is almost a dead opponent, so as you can see, no damage taken, and yeah, now it's game over. Still no damage taken, too easy, guys. Choose a card, we can go for Mana Eruption, Flash Freeze, or Arcane Flow. Deal 12 damage to any target, give it Arcane Weakness. We actually don't go... Arcane Weakness, by the way, is a double both effects of the next Arcane Detonation. Arcane Weakness is introduced at the end of the turn. So basically, if you want to go for an Arcane build, this is going to be quite strong. And actually, it doesn't reduce. But yeah, it only activates for the next effect, so that's interesting. Instead, we have Flash Freeze, which is a bit better for our Frost build. Apply 10 Frost to any enemy, then if it is frozen, give it Frost by 2. So yeah, that should be pretty strong. Now, we have another, item, so we can go for Active, gain Powerful 3 this turn. I mean, this will be very strong if we had a lot of strikes, which, for example, dealt 1 damage 4 times. If we gain Powerful 3 is increased damage done and status applied by 1 per rank. So basically, we would have dealt, if it was 1 times 4, it would have been 4 times 4. So you basically are quadrupling the amount of damage that you're doing. So yeah, that's very strong on those type of strikes, which we actually don't have. And also, this is just an active effect. Instead of Trinket, we get Plated, decreased damage taken and status received by 1 per rank. Plated is introduced at the end of the turn. This seems like a much better choice here, so let's go for that. We can upgrade 1 card. First of all, remove the last Predict in our deck. This is the least valuable card. So let's try to upgrade Flash Freeze. So yeah, this seems very strong. You basically double the amount of Frostbite that you're giving, and also a bit more of Frost dealt, basically. So yeah, let's go for the upgrade on our Epics. And yeah, let's move on. Let's probably try to go for the least amount of encounters, so like right there. And this is actually a wide encounter, as I like to call them. So we don't have the ability to play focus in the most useful way. We can actually not take damage by going for that. I don't know how I'm getting so much shield out of nowhere. But yeah, we're not taking damage, so we should be happy. Okay, so now we will be taking damage, but we are actually not, because we have Mana Shield. So this will probably die with the 6 mana card. So instead, let's try to kill this one, because I know that it is a big hitter. We want to be effective with our casting tools. Okay, now this has 13 health, so actually this doesn't kill it. So probably Frost Strike and Pierce, yeah, that should do it. We're taking a bit of damage because this has Reflect, but yeah, whatever. Oh, we were not, because yeah, this was a spell, so we gain a shield for every spell cast. That's very interesting. So now we have Flash Freeze, which will stun this and also apply Frostbite to it. This is going to die very slowly. So let's focus on killing the other ones, and we know that this is going to die. 6 times 3 is 18, so just a bit more we need to kill him. Let's go for Mana Shield, let's stun this one. Since he's going to attack, let's go for Focus, Icy Concentration and Mana Shield. So we will have a lot of mana for the next turn. Okay. And also we know that in the following turns it is also going to be frozen again. So now we can basically do whatever we want. Probably let's kill this one. Yeah. Let's go for Pierce, Frost Nova. Okay. Oh, we need a bit more to actually froze him. So yeah, let's kill this one. Actually, no. Because we know that this is frozen and the next turn is going to die. So let's actually go for... We can Frost Strike to kill this. Actually, you know what? We want to remove this because it is going to deal damage. Actually, not remove it, but to freeze him. And actually, let's go for Pierce there. And yeah, now they should both die to the Frostbite effect, and should be good to go. Actually, not this one because it was going to shield, but now it should be done. Nice. Okay, choose a card: Fireball, Chill, or Zap. Fireball is actually quite interesting because we can also apply Burn, and it should be okay in wide fights like we had right now. Deal 5 damage to all enemies, give them Burn too. Instead Chill, we have better effects to apply Frost. For example, the Frostbite, the Flash Freeze card, the epic one that we had, applies more Frost for less mana and also does something else if the enemy was frozen. So that should be quite better. Let's go for Fireball then. So we are a Frost Fire Mage. You've been progressing on an unusual path. The trail is surrounded by big trees. A lot of them collapse and some of them look burned. Your trail becomes a road. Continue. Welcome to Temple, says a sign. Welcome to the temple, probably. Says a sign on the side of the road. You can see a small village with a few dilapidated buildings. Nature has reclaimed a few houses, and a smell of moss and decay is all around you. There are a few identifiable buildings that could be entered. Enter the stone temple in the center, enter the adventure store, and enter the forge. Probably... Do we want to upgrade something? Probably the Fireball, so the Forge will upgrade that. Instead, if we go for the Stone Temple in the center, I'm guessing that we're going to remove a card. So yeah, let's use your manic attunement with the Forge. Try to find a useful item. So yeah, we should be able to upgrade something. You didn't find any special item, but your artifact gathered a lot of lingering energy. After your search, the building fades out around you in an illusory mist. So yeah, we had a lot of energy for the next equipment. Hopefully we will get one more before we get into the boss fight. We should be able to. So with a bit of luck, you spot a small hidden cache of supplies near your path. Loot the cache. While you check, okay, we got an ambush. Nice. So let's go for Frost Strike. Ice Blast there probably because we don't want to take any unnecessary damage, and since this is frozen, let's actually kill it as well. So one enemy down on the first turn. I actually want to remove this one because it's quite annoying. So we would like to go for Icy Blast so that then we can go for Icy Concentration. But actually, we can go, yeah, we can go for Frost Strike first, then we go for Focus, Mana Shield, Ice Blast, Ice Concentration. And we gain 8 mana. Nice. Okay, and now we should be able to remove these. Yeah, this will actually freeze him. Yeah, so let's go for these, and then we can Pierce. And actually, let's Ice Blast this one, so that he doesn't even cast the shield, and next turn we should be able kill him, hopefully. Well, not quite. We can go for Frost Strike. Frost Strike, yeah. Frost Strike and then Pierce. Yeah, yeah. We can actually kill it. Nice. Pretty easy fight. Again, choose a card. Another Ice Blast, Elemental Winds or Corrupted Blast. Elemental Winds could be useful sometimes because we want the, as you saw, Frostbite and Burn most of the time. Actually, Burn is a bit easier currently in our build to actually just happen by itself. But Frostbite most of the times won't happen all in the fight. Like your enemy will have more Frostbite than needed when he actually dies. So you want to trigger them faster. And Elemental Winds is very great at doing that because it trigger Frostbite and Burn 2 times on all enemies. So for just 1 mana, that's pretty insane. And yeah, I think that is quite good in the build that we're going to go for. So now we got another equipment. So starting top rank +5, so we have a bit of damage decreased, or active gain 12 shield and tough 1. I don't actually know. Probably this one. Like this when you're in a pinch, you can go for these. Actually, let's go for Snail Shell. This could save us from a bad spot. So last fight before we get into our enemy, like the final boss. So as you can see here, Plated is awesome because those are actually dealing 1 × 4, but they actually deal 0. So that's pretty insane. Let's actually remove. Actually, not remove, but you know. Yeah, we actually did end up removing them, but I meant to stun them. So yeah, the Plated, very nice. But they're going to stack pretty soon, so that's a consideration that we have to make. So we can actually cast everything, right? So let's go for Mana Shield. Let's stun those, 1 of them, and also let's go for a Frostbite on everything. So yeah, we have a lot of shield generation actually, which I don't know where it is coming from. This is going to die. We actually probably want to flash freeze these. Then we go for focus, and so this is going to die pretty soon. So let's actually go for frost right there. We are taking the first damage in our run. That's interesting. This is going to die soon. Elemental Winds actually. So yeah, let's go for these, and then Elemental Winds should be okay, because we activate Frostbite as you saw. Nice, so our final card, give burn to any enemy, gain growth 1 and wits 1, or zap. Probably zap just because it is a cantrip, and a cantrip basically means that you draw 1 card off of it. Most of the times we have a lot of mana, so having the ability to draw more cards and do something with the mana. But then I feel like we are not really in a shock build, so this probably will be unnecessary most of the time. I kind of like more the Moonlit Reverie? I don't know. Because, you know, we draw 1 card off of Wits, as you see, buff, draw 1 extra card every turn, and the growth is the one that we sometimes get from freezing, thanks to Rodan, and also from other cards with growth. So yeah, that would be interesting. Let's go for Moonlit Reverie, but actually now we can use the rest, which not only restores our health, but we can also choose an additional random bonus, and most of the times you can remove a card. So, you know what, let's go ahead and remove the Moonlit Reverie. I don't think that is going to be very useful. Let's remove 1 more card, so let's go for... I don't know if I want to remove a Frost Nova. Like, I know that the next encounter is going to be pretty wide, so I probably won't do that, since I know that the next fight is going to be wide. Probably I could remove 1 more mana spell. Like, I want to make my deck a bit more dense in terms of attack. We have Icy Concentration. I don't know if I'm making it too little mana, you know? I don't really know. Let's probably go ahead and do that. Why not? Let's have more stuff to cast. Okay, so now we can immediately, not really immediately, Frostbite him. Freeze him, actually. Yeah, we can actually do that. So it won't summon enemies. That's pretty insane. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, if he doesn't summon enemies, that's pretty strong. Because I knew that he was going to do so. Yeah, let's go for Icy Concentration and Pierce. We're taking a bit of damage. Yeah, we take only 3 damage. That's fine. He's going to buff himself. Ideally, you want to freeze him the same turn he's going to summon enemies. So this fight is much easier if he doesn't summon any of them. So he's still going to buff himself. We do have a Frost Rune, so like whatever we do, we're going to give a freeze to him, so we can actually concentrate in dealing the most damage to him. So I don't know if it is Ice Blast. Probably Ice Blast because I want to prepare for the following turn, which I want to have more freeze on him. And as you can see right now, we are a bit lacking in terms of mana. So probably removing that focus was not the best idea. Let's go for Frost Strike. And Flash Freeze is a bit useless if we don't gain the secondary effect, which we're actually not doing right now, right? Because 13, yeah, 29, 32. That would be nice to have like a preview of what the Frost Bar will end up being, but you know, it's just an alpha. The game looks very polished for just being an alpha currently. So yeah, let's pass. We're taking a bit of damage, but the damage should hopefully recover because we have a secondary like zone. I was thinking that now there is no way in avoiding him summoning enemies, so that's a bit of a shame. Then actually, do I want to deal the most damage to him? In that way, that would be to play double Pierce. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We had Bleed. That's interesting. Bleed makes us take damage for every card we play. Okay, now the fight is significantly harder, as you can see. Let's go for Fireball. And actually, with Elemental Wings, we almost kill everything. And also the final boss. So yeah, we're taking probably the last damage, and then the boss is killed. Then we have to kill also those other ones. But yeah, the fight should be over. You know, the boss. So yeah, let's go for Ice Blast, Frost Strike, Icy Concentration, and another Frost Strike to remove one of the 2 other enemies. And yeah, now we are a bit lacking in terms of mana actually. We want to go for Ice, for Pierce. Probably I want to wait. I want to bank a bit of mana. And yeah, Mana Shield, Ice Blast, so that we freeze him. Then we go for Flash Freeze, so that we know that next turn he's going to take 3 damage and almost die. And actually he's another time frozen, so yeah. We won! We won at depth 1. Actually, I think that I played at depth 1. You can play in different modes, and we also got a nice level up there. You can play in different modes and have, for example, at depth 2, so you will be able to reach at depth 2. Then once you beat that, you will unlock the depth 3, which is currently the most the most depth that there are there. I'm guessing that the developer is trying to get to 5 zones, maybe 4. I don't want to say something wrong, so please correct me if you're watching the video. But yeah, guys, so let me know in the comments what you think about this game. In my opinion, it has very good like chances at being pretty great. It is quite similar to Slay the Spire, as you saw, but it does something a bit better in my opinion. I actually did play Slay the Spire and I enjoyed this game more actually than Slay the Spire, so that is a good premise. And so yeah, guys, let me know in the comments if you like this type of videos when I do play test some other games rather than usually the usual Legends of Runeterra. Also, let me know in the comments if you do enjoy this game in particular and if you will play it. If so, if you did enjoy the game, check the links in the description. You will find the Discord server when you can get basically this build that I have right there, and also a build from the phone. I forgot to mention that this game is also going to be released on phone, which I don't know if Slay the Spire did. Probably under a paywall as they did for the desktop app. There is also going to be a Play Store link and a Steam link, because they will also be releasing. He's a one-man team, so he is going to be releasing this game on Steam. And so yeah, guys, I think that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya!